So what have you seen specifically with critical race theory, or I think you could probably say the same thing with the trans indoctrination, that looks familiar to you from the way you grew up? You said some division.
Division.
And why is that in their interest? Why do they want division?
Okay, so if you want to control people, if you want to have a revolution, you got to divide the people. From day one in 1949, when the communists took over China, they divided the entire country into two classes, a red class and a black class. And the red one is those who own anything. You own land, property, or sometimes you just own one more walk than your neighbor. And you become the black class, the enemy of the people. And then the other side is the red class. Those are the proletarians. Those are the allies of the revolution. But eventually it becomes anyone who think like the rich and will be condemned and thrown into the black class. Just like today, being white, you are guilty. That is the original sin. Instead of the wealth, whiteness is the sin in today's cultural revolution here. And even if you are black, but if you're accused of thinking like a white person, you belong to the black class in Mao's term. And that is how every Chinese got an identity. This identity is something you pass down to your children and your children's children. And you can be born belonging to the black class just because your parents were. And with that, you become the second class citizen. Mao used the identity politics to divide people and control people and set them against each other. And this is exactly what the critical race theory aims to do. Instead of class, they use race. That's just that simple. Very similar.
I was surprised after George Floyd at how quickly so many people and institutions folded on changing the curriculum, changing the narrative about America, changing everything, just posting the black square, saying Black Lives Matter. I'm going to say it. We got letters from both of our schools. The head of the school, I'm racist, and the school's racist, and I've done racist things. And I remember being like, what'd you do? What? Tell us. There was nothing. She was just self-flagellating to try to go along with the messaging from above. I'm a good girl. Don't hate me. I want to be in one of the protected classes. Were you surprised how quickly people folded on this?
I was surprised and I was not surprised. And because I've seen this before, what surprised me is that the Americans will fall for it. Back then, I really did not know. I did not pay that much attention. I told you I told everyone that when I came to America, I thought I left communism behind me. I really thought there's nothing for me to worry about. And I, even as myself, I made this mistake. I did not share my stories of the Cultural Revolution with my friends, my family. I just want to forget about it. And so now, in 2020, I realized that people just don't know. They don't know. And that is why, actually, in 2022, I finally decided that a short interview here and a speech over there won't do it. I quit my job and wrote that book. And that book really explained the parallels of these two cultural revolutions and tell everyone this is history repeating.
Mm-hmm. It's called Mao's America, A Survivor's Warning by Shi Van Fleet. You can get it in paperback right now. So Shi, what do you hear or see from Kamala Harris that concerns you?
Everything. And remember that equity clip she did. And, we started, we may not start in the same place. So that is the government job to make sure we all end up in the same place. Yes, Mao played that same trick, and we all ended up in the same place. That's true. Only that it's the same place of poverty, misery, and oppression. And then, everything she talked about, the race, critical race theory of the division. of the marginalized people and then control price and everything else. She really thinks, talks, acts like a communist.
She has been saying go ahead, sorry.
I know dear to your heart is the transgender issue. And people ask me, did the Mao do transgender in China? No, he didn't. He did not have to. He did not have to because he had enough in tactics to achieve his goal. But he did attack gender role. And so growing up in China, the girls were all taught that femininity is toxic. It is weak. It is bourgeois. It is not revolutionary. It is something to get rid of. We all aim to be an iron girl. And iron girl is what men can do, we can do better. So all men and women and young girls, we think, talk, act, and dress like men. And we become kind of like men. And that is what Mao did to China. And here, of course, Mao was dealing with a people that never knew freedom and never always lived under tyranny. In America, this is the free people. And so they have to be more sophisticated. And what they're doing in America, I have to say, and it's more evil than what Mao did. Only that Mao killed more people. But this idea of you can transition from one gender to another just by identify yourself, that is absolutely evil.
Well, it's also very destabilizing for the family unit, for the community, for the school. And that seems to be of some benefit to a Mao type thinker. Like they're in favor of that sort of instability in the community.
Yeah, he did it in different ways. And one of this, he made all the children the spies of their parents. And the parents are really scared of children. And people ask me whether my parents talked to me during the Cultural Revolution, helped me to understand what's going on. I said, no, they're afraid of children because children will report their parents, and many of them were sent to execution site because the children reported their talks at home to the party.
Mm-hmm. Same thing in Cuba, by the way. We've had people on this show talking about how the same thing. They encourage you to report on your neighbor, report on your parents. You see these things bit by bit, schools asking you inappropriate questions about your home life, your child, doctors asking questions about your home life that are none of their business. You're sounding an important alarm, Xi. Thank you. Thank you for writing this book, Mao's America, A Survivor's Warning. 4 years of crushing interest rates, runaway inflation, and reckless government spending. And who is paying the price? You. You might have bills stacking up, debt collectors on your back. You might be barely able to keep food on the table. Done with Debt can be a way out. They have developed new aggressive strategies designed to get you out of debt permanently without bankruptcy or loans. Done with Debt stands between you and your bill collectors. They can go head to head with these guys, getting your balances reduced, interest rates slashed, and penalties stopped. They create a plan to end your debt fast and put more cash in your pocket every month. And right now, Done with Debt is accepting new clients. But you do need to act fast. Some credit relief programs expire. Before you even make another payment, consider a visit to donewithdebt.com or call 1-888-322-1054 right now. 1-888-322-1054. Speak with one of their debt relief strategists for free by going to donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.